So, after years and years of waiting, India's new digital data protection law is finally here. But while it promises to protect our privacy, there's a hidden cost, a major blow to public transparency. In this explainer, we're going to unpack how a law that was designed to empower citizens might actually be doing the exact opposite.
And this quote, wow, it really gets right to the heart of the debate, doesn't it? It frames the new law not just as a step forward for privacy, but as a huge step back for government accountability. It basically pits two fundamental rights against each other. Okay, so to really get what's going on with these new rules, we've got to rewind a bit. We need to understand the long journey that got us here, a journey that all started with a landmark court decision that said privacy is a fundamental right for every single Indian citizen. And this timeline, it just lays it all out. It's been a long, winding, 8-year path. Think about that. From the Supreme Court's historic ruling all the way back in 2017, through multiple drafts and a ton of debate, to where we are now. So, on paper, the goal of the 2023 Act was all about simplicity. Give citizens more control over their data, things like the right to consent, the right to fix your information, and the right to have it deleted, a clear, straightforward framework. But as we're now finding out, that simplicity came with some pretty big trade-offs. And that right there brings us to the core of the issue. It's this direct conflict between a promise of privacy sometime in the future and a right that citizens have been using for 2 decades to demand accountability right now. First, let's do a quick refresher on the Right to Information Act, the RTI. Passed back in 2005, this law was absolutely revolutionary. It's how people have uncovered everything from corruption in public works to how politicians are spending our tax money. It is, without a doubt, the #1 tool for public accountability. This is where it gets really stark. This comparison just lays bare the immediate imbalance. The tool for transparency, the RTI Act, gets weaker right now. Meanwhile, all those promised protections for our personal data, well, those are still years away from being fully rolled out. Okay, so how exactly do these new rules pull this off? How do they create this imbalance? Well, it really boils down to 2 key things: a critical gap in when things are implemented, and some serious questions about the independence of the very group that's supposed to be protecting our data. All right, take a good look at this timeline, because this is the absolute key. In November 2025, bam, the part of the law that weakens the RTI kicks in. But the really important data protection rules for companies, those are delayed, with full compliance not even expected until 2027. So accountability tools get taken away now, while privacy protections get pushed down the road. Now, another huge piece of this puzzle is the brand new Data Protection Board of India, or DPBI. This is supposed to be the new sheriff in town, right? The independent guardian of our data rights, the watchdog meant to enforce the law. And this table, man, it just perfectly illustrates the huge structural problem here. Our supposed data watchdog, the DPBI, reports directly to the Ministry of IT. That's the same ministry that's actively trying to get investment from the very tech giants the DPBI is supposed to regulate. You see the issue, right? It's a massive conflict of interest. And that's why the source material calls this an anemic framework. It just doesn't have the independent muscle to hold real power to account. Okay, so why should you care about all this? Let's talk about what this actually means in the real world. For you, for the government, and for the big tech companies. Well, the impact is immediate, and it's not subtle. Public officials can now deny information requests much more easily. That directly limits our ability to keep an eye on what the government is doing. The result? The state and big tech get to operate with less transparency, all while our data is still not fully protected for years to come. And this quote from the source material, it's just such a powerful analogy for this new reality. It's like we, the citizens, are becoming open books, but the institutions holding our data, they're on the other side of a one-way mirror, becoming harder and harder for us to see. And if you're a visual person, this chart makes it crystal clear. State accountability, it takes an immediate dive. Citizen data protection, it's pretty much stagnant for now. And the burden on corporations to comply, that gets delayed. The scales are clearly and immediately tipped. So you see this imbalance, and you have to ask, is this it? Are we just stuck with this? Well, maybe not. Let's look at how this could potentially be fixed by exploring some practical solutions that could restore that crucial balance between privacy and accountability. So what would a real fix look like? Here are 5 concrete steps. First, and this is the big one, Repeal the amendments to the RTI Act. Just bring back that vital tool of public scrutiny right away. Second, get rid of that 2027 delay. Data protection compliance for companies should be mandated now. Third, the Data Protection Board needs a total overhaul. Make it a truly independent body, free from government oversight. Fourth, those broad exemptions for government agencies, they need to be seriously narrowed down. And finally, the whole process needs a reset. Reopen the rules for a new, genuinely transparent public consultation. And all of this really boils down to one final massive question for all of us. As we build our digital future, do we have to choose? Must stronger privacy come at the cost of public accountability? Or is there a way to design systems that protect both of these rights equally? That's really the fundamental challenge we have to think about.